I am so excited. I got my new Nature's Generator Power Transfer Kit Elite installed, and it is working perfectly with my car, using the car as a generator. I'm going to do a follow-up video for you guys, testing everything out, showing you everything that I can power with this Power Transfer Kit Elite. But for right now, I'm going to go through the installation with you guys in case any of you are wanting to install this yourself. So overall, the installation is actually not that bad. These instructions are very thorough and they walk you through step by step what you need to do. So as long as you have a basic understanding of how electrical wiring works, I think a lot of people will be able to install this themselves. I'm going to go through the instructions with you guys, and then I'm going to go through some photos from the installation. That way you can see kind of what you'd be getting yourself into. My electrician needed about 2 hours to get everything done, but my electrical panel is a little more complicated than most because I do have solar panels, I have a sub panel, so everything was really tight in my panel. If you were to have an electrician do this and you don't have those extra things, they may only need maybe an hour to get everything installed. So as we open up the instructions, obviously you have your table of contents, then you have the page that has the warnings and says it should be installed by a qualified electrician. Just make sure that you do everything carefully. If you aren't comfortable doing this, please make sure you get an electrician. The next page has everything that's included in the kit. So this has the power transfer switch, it has the inlet, so this is where you'll plug the vehicle into. It has the flexible conduit, which you run the wires through, the cable clamps, which connect everything together, the power cord, so that's the extension cord that you would plug into the vehicle, and then obviously you have the user manual and a mounting template. The next page has the key components of the transfer switch, the rocker switches, the breakers, the power inlet knockouts, the cover, all that information. The next page has information on installing the power inlet. There are 3 knockouts that you can use for the power inlet. I just did it on the front, but basically what you're going to need to do is take off the front cover by taking out the screws, lifting the cover, and then you're going to insert the power inlet through the knockout that you use. And what you're going to need to do is connect the black wire in the power transfer switch to the copper connector of the power inlet, and then the 2 white wires, one neutral and one LED wire, in the power transfer switch to the silver connector of the power inlet, and connect the green, the ground, in the power transfer switch to the green connector of the power inlet. And then you're going to secure everything with the screws and then put the cover back on with the screws that you removed in step 2. Next up, you're going to mount the power transfer switch. So wherever your electrical panel is, you're going to need to make sure that you do it within 18 inches of that, and you could put it on either side. There is a way to flush mount it. You have to get a flush mount kit, but I just mounted mine on the wall, and you just secure it to the wall using screws through the holes in the flange. You do have to supply your own screws because there are various options for mounting it. They don't provide the screws for you. Next up, we're going to go ahead and prepare the load center, or the electrical panel that you do have already. You're going to turn off the main breaker, obviously for safety, and then you're going to remove the cover, and then you're going to take out one of the 1-inch knockouts close to the transfer switch side that you're going to be installing it. And then you're going to insert the wires from the transfer switch through the flexible conduit and then into the electrical panel. And you're going to make sure you don't bend the flexible conduit beyond what it's capable of, because it will break. Next up is connecting the transfer switch to the circuits that you do want to have powered in the event of a power outage. What I did is I went through and tested every single circuit, what's on every single one of my circuits, and then I made an Excel spreadsheet just like this that outlined everything that is on each one so that I could easily choose which ones I wanted to have powered, and those are the ones that I connected. Now the wires from the transfer switch are all clearly marked with numbers. So like in this picture here, there's a red 3 and a black 3. And what you're going to do is go ahead and choose the circuit that you're going to connect to, turn off that breaker and undo the screw so that wire can be disconnected from it. And then from the transfer switch, you're going to use those wires to connect to it. So the black wire from the transfer switch will actually connect to that wire that you just removed. And then the red wire from the transfer switch is going to be put in place of that wire that you removed in the breaker that was already in your electrical panel. You're going to do this for all the circuits that you want to connect to, and then you're going to connect the neutral and the ground wires to unused openings on your neutral bar and your ground bar. Now, if there is no ground bar, you are going to just use the green wire and insert that into an unused hole on the neutral bar and tighten that screw down. At this point, everything's basically done. You just go ahead and put the cover back on. You fill out your chart with everything that is there, turn the main breaker on, and put all the rocker switches and the transfer switch in the L position, which is the line position. That way everything is getting fed from the grid. and then you'll be all good to go. So there is some information in the manual about how to connect it to a generator or to your vehicle. There's information about using it and some FAQs as well as some warranty information. Again, I'm going to be doing a video in the coming days that outlines how to use it with my particular car, my EV6, as well as what I'm able to power so that you guys can see that. But let me know if you guys have any questions before I post that video, and I'll be sure to address them for you guys. If you do want to get one of these Nature's Generator power transfer kits so that you can use your EV to power your home, just go to naturesgenerator.com, check out the power transfer kit and the power transfer kit Elite, and make sure you use the promo code TechJeff to get 10% off your order. And thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you soon.